The worst financial advice I've ever gotten in my life is someone telling me to wait till I have $100 before I can start investing. Now, if I had waited till I had $100 before I started investing, first, I wouldn't have understood the basics of investment. Two, I wouldn't have made mistakes that have helped me become a better investor that I am today. And three, I wouldn't have even made the little returns that I have made from the few investments I've made as a beginner. If you're in your 20s or your early 30s and you've been thinking about the kind of investments you can make or how you can even start investing, then this video is for you. I'm going to walk you through 6 steps to take to become an investor or start investing your money today. So the truth here is that you don't actually need to wait till you become rich before you can start investing. Actually, being an investor is what makes you rich. So if you're waiting till you have a lot of money before you can start investing, then you might want to rethink that. I'm going to walk you through the basic things you need to know before you can start investing, and also tell you how you can start investing with as little as $5 wherever you are watching this video. Hi, my name is Gigii, and in this channel, I'm dedicated to sharing meaningful lessons for people like me, people who are looking to live a better holistic life, a life where every area of our lives is nurtured, including our financial, social, spiritual, physical, mental, sexual life is nurtured. And today we're focusing on the financial side. Step one, start with the basics. And when I say the basics, I'm talking about the most basic things like understanding your money, understanding your income, knowing the difference between how much you make and how much you spend every month. Now, a lot of people don't even know what their expenses are. A lot of people don't even have a budget. I know that inflation can be so high that it's gets so hard to track or even keep a budget in the first place. But there are certain things you need to know when it comes to understanding your money or even understanding your expenses and having a budget for your expenses. And the rule I use for this is the 50-30-20 rule. It's a rule that allows you to grade your money or your income based on percentage. It allows you to budget your income, whatever it may be, based on the most important things. So what this is that 50% of your income should go into your needs. And when I say your needs, I'm talking about the most important things you need for survival. We're talking house rent, we're talking about food, transportation, paying for lights, paying for water bill, whatever the case may be, the actual things you need to survive, the things that you cannot do without. And the 30% in this rule goes to your wants. Now, wants are the things that you can do without, although you actually desire them or they are important, but they are not urgent. And there are things you can actually do without. I'm talking about leisure, paying for entertainment, paying for Netflix, paying for, music apps or traveling the world, all these kind of things. These are not the actual needs. These are things that are classified under wants. And the 20% in this rule is now the money you put aside for the future. I'm talking about your savings. I'm talking about investments. I'm talking about funding your retirement plan or your pension plan, whatever the case may be. So the 50-30-20 rule allows you to grade your money based on percentage so that you can set your priorities right. And it's important that you understand the in and out of your money before you even start talking about being an investor. Step two, build an emergency fund first. This is one mistake that a lot of people make when it comes to investing. They don't even have a savings account, talk less of even having an emergency savings account. So an emergency savings account or emergency funds is a particular amount of money you set for unexpected expenses like medical bills, car repairs, gadgets repairs, and other related things. It's advice, and I even advise you, because I do it too, to have an emergency savings account different from your actual savings account. If you're in Nigeria, there are lots of platforms you can use to do this. I personally use Piggyverse and I personally use Rise to create emergency savings accounts and also a savings account. I'm going to leave the link in the description of this video. You can use my link to sign up for these platforms. 3, understand what investment actually is. Before you start investing, understand exactly why you even need to start investing. A lot of people just say, oh, I want to start investing because they said that investment is good and it's important for people to have an investment, but they don't even understand what exactly investing is. They don't understand the basics of investment. I'm going to walk you through the actual basics and the things you need to know when it comes to investing before you start thinking about where to put your money or not. So investment or investing your money is simply putting away some amount of money to allow it to grow over time. Then we're talking about not just saving your money, but allowing your money grow in a way that it beats inflation. But the thing is, not all investments are the same. Investments are categorized based on risk level. Now, before I tell you what this risk level is, what exactly is even risk level when it comes to investing? Risk level is simply like your appetite. How much can you sacrifice? How much can you give in to see the returns in your money? This is just what a risk level is. So And there are three types of investment risk. First is low level risk. The second is medium level risk. And then the third is high level risk. Now, it's very important for you to know your risk level before you can make any kind of investment. So let's start with the first one, which is low level risk investment. So this low level risk investment includes things like mutual funds and money markets, which includes things like commercial papers, bonds, tertiary bills. So how do you know that this low risk investment is even for you? First is that you want to keep your capital. You don't want your money to disappear. You are afraid of losing that money that you've worked so hard for. Then I strongly advise you that you want to start with things like low risk investment. So this is best for beginners and is also best for emergency funds. And they usually give returns of about 8 to 12%. They don't give a lot of huge returns, but be rest assured that your capital is not going to be touched. So you can easily withdraw it any day. Your capital is still there. So let us move to medium risk investment. So as the name implies, it's like in the middle. So it's like a 50-50 thing. It can give you returns. It cannot also give you returns. And if it wants to affect your capital, it's going to slightly affect your capital. And one popular example of medium risk investments is real estate. And there are many ways you can invest in real estate actually without just buying a property. But that can be a video for another day, or it's something you can also research on your own. So what are the other examples of this medium risk investment aside real estate? We're talking about crowdfunding, like in agriculture. The returns of medium risk investments is that it actually fluctuates. It's not stable, unlike low risk investments. Now let's move down to high risk investments. So when you talk about high risk investments, we're talking about investments that, they give you a lot of returns, but when they want to flop, they flop really hard. Now we're talking about things like crypto, we're talking about things like NFTs, we're talking about things like the stock market. So if the stock market or crypto wants to give you a lot of money, it can give you a lot of money. Like we're talking about over 50% of your capital. But then when it wants to flop, it can flop really, really hard. Before you invest in any high risk investments, crypto, stocks, NFTs, I strongly advise you to understand the market in and out. How do you start investing in the first place? Number one, why are you even investing? Why do you want to invest? Are you just investing because people say that it's nice to invest, or because you're trying to save for retirement, or you're trying to travel? Why exactly are you even investing? Number two, save for emergencies first. We talked about this earlier in the video. Number three, start with low risk investments or mutual funds. Now, it's really important for you to start low so that you can understand how money grows and how money returns. Number four, use legit platforms. I already recommended certain platforms that I use to invest. I mentioned Piggyvest, I mentioned Rise, and I also use Bamboo. And the good thing also is that their customer service is also very active. Number five, start investing small and consistently. Remember the worst financial advice I told you that I received, which is I should wait till I have $100. What if I told you that my first investment was with $5 in 2020? It sounds so crazy. Now imagine the returns I have gotten from that investment since 2020 to date. So I strongly advise that you can start with, even if it's $1. If you don't have the money to invest monthly, at least make it a habit to invest at least quarterly. If you can put aside $5, $10 quarterly, even if it's into something that is of low returns, imagine how much that money is going to compound into in the next 5-10 years with just $5. Number six, always reinvest your profits, especially when you're a long-term investor. Very easy for you to get carried away when you see your first $20 returns in whatever investment that you're doing. But I strongly believe in the power of compounding. So the thing is that your money may not always grow instantly, but it will definitely deep. And that is normal. Allow your money to grow. Give it time. People usually fall into that trap of wanting their money to grow the next day. It doesn't work that way. That's not what investment is. Even if it's even in the stock market, people actually give it time to grow. I'm going to leave you some extra tips to help you become a better investor. The first one is you want to automate your investments. Always set it and forget it. Stop trying so hard to, always manually do it. Oh, I'm going to invest tomorrow. And then the end of the day, you don't even invest at all. And the platforms I mentioned in this video allow you to automate your investments and even connect it with your bank account so that they debit the amount of money at the end of the month. You set everything, they will not debit it, or else you set it. So automate your investments. The next one is that you want to avoid debt-funded investment. Do not borrow to invest, or else you are very, very sure. I strongly advise you to never borrow money to invest in anything. If you don't have the money, leave it. When you have the money, you invest. Avoid debt-funded investments. Number three is to keep learning. Follow financial channels, YouTubers, newsletters, read investment blogs, follow the businesses you're trying to invest in, try to understand the industry, never get too comfortable, always keep learning. Number four, beware of scammers. If it sounds too good to be true in the investment world, it's actually too good to be true. That's what it means. Do not invest in anything that sounds too good to be true. Anything that promises you up to 50%, 20%, like in the next day or in a very short duration, please just run away, even if it's even long term. To invest in your 20s doesn't have to be so hard. You just need to understand the basics. You need to understand your income, understand your money, understand the most important things you need to put your money in or where you need to put your money at. So if you like this video or there's anything that is still not clear to you in this video, let me know in the comments and I don't mind creating another video for you. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with a friend. Leave a comment and let me know how insightful it was for you. Please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in the next video.